Well, hi everybody. We are at the beginning of week 4. It also happens to be election day, and yes, I did go vote. I hope that you've done the same. Okay, let's go on to week 4. Scripture application to courage, character, and your own personal capacity objectives. So here, let's look at the objectives. Recognize how Scripture applies to our lives and responsibilities. Demonstrate writing skills in a well-organized outline that effectively supports a claim. Apply research methods, and then finally we're looking at modifying the e-portfolio that you created last week. This week we're looking at our reading content. We have several sections in chapter 6 of the Turabian book. This is all about how do you write an essay and give evidence for supporting your claim for your essay. How do you assemble it, and then unhelpful plans to avoid, and then converting a storyboard into an outline. In the Smith reading, we're looking at courage and character, and then the capacity for continuous learning. Finally, we're looking at our Kibbe textbook. This will be the first reading in Kibbe, and it is Finding Direction. We're going to look at one video that covers a foundational principle by Stephen Covey, and that is how character and personality are so important in leadership. Okay, let's look at our assignment 4-1. It's called Building Resiliency Essay Part 1. So this is a several part assignment, and part 1 of the assignment is just to build. We're going to start to build how do we write an effective essay. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at thesis statements, we're going to look at outlines, and then we're going to look at works cited. Now, some of these things you guys have already covered. For example, the works cited page you covered last week with the library assignment that you had. And so what we're going to also look at is a thesis statement and an outline. And the assignment is to turn in those 3 elements in the document. So you're going to write a document about building resiliency. You get a little bit of background on what we're expecting in terms of what we want you to cover for the essay. And so you have a video on how to write an effective thesis statement. And that's one of the things that needs to be in this particular document, and you can just put like a little heading and call it thesis statement and then write your thesis statement. This little video is very short, but it's very effective. It tells you all of the points and gives you a couple of examples of how to write a good thesis statement. Please pay attention to it. That's what I'll be looking for when I grade this particular assignment. Don't forget, you've had some videos to review on the works cited, how to create a works cited page, and also you can go to the library guide and the Foundations of Learning for 4.1 or 4-1, and that will help give you some background on all of this. Follow the tips and instructions on how to complete the assignment, but don't hesitate to ask for help. Okay. As I mentioned before, for this assignment, you have 3 things that need to be in it: the thesis statement, the outline, and then a works cited page. So your thesis statement should have at least 3 elements in it. Your outline should have an introduction, at least 3 paragraphs on, that support your thesis statement, a conclusion. And then the final thing you should have is a works cited page, and we want you to make sure that in your works cited page you have the supporting references that you need in order to write your paper. Okay, so those are the 3 elements that we want in this particular document. Okay, you're going to update your e-portfolio. It says assignment 1-5, actually should be assignment 1-4, the occupation vocation reflection essay. So we want you to upload that. We want you to upload the plagiarism and academic integrity response paper, the reflection paper that we asked you to write in week 2. If you have a resume, go ahead and put it up there. If you have family photos, mission trips, your pet, anything that you want to have on there. If you happen to be artistic and you like to take photographs, anything that you want to share with us in terms of images, please feel free to go ahead and upload that. If you have audios, you've got recordings of yourself, maybe you're a favorite little short sermon, or, if you have a worship audio that you want to share with us, don't hesitate to go ahead and put that up there too. We'd love to hear your work, how you like to glorify God. Okay, so that's what we want you to do. Now, the only caution I have about uploading the files, especially your assignment files, is that after you have received feedback from me, before you put those files up there, we would caution you to go ahead and correct those files. You want to, because this page, you may have marked it public instead of private. That means anybody can go out there and look at it. And if at some point in the future you may decide to use this particular ePortfolio for potentially future employment, you just don't know it. You might want a church to know what you do. So make sure you put your best foot forward and that you put the right documents in there that have been edited. Finally, with the discussion board, we're asking you to begin to look at a piece of scripture, and we want you to say, how do you personally seek to learn from scripture and God's wisdom and apply it to the areas that Smith mentions? Okay, so this is a clue. It tells you we want you to integrate your reading this week from Smith with this particular piece of scripture or with other scripture that you happen to like, that helps to support what Smith mentions, and then apply it to yourself. How does it help you? Okay, I think that's it. If you have any questions, feel free to get a hold of me. I'll be happy to answer any questions I can. Thanks, everybody. Have a great week.